Tonight, officials in Lebanon say the death toll has risen to 14 after an Israeli strike on a residential building in a suburb of Beirut. The Israeli military claims it was a targeted strike, they say, that killed multiple senior Hezbollah operatives, including a top commander who also was wanted by the United States, accused of involvement in the 1983 bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. The IDF pressing forward with what it calls a new era of war after a series of deadly explosions involving Hezbollah walkie-talkies and pagers. CNN's Brian Todd has been talking to a demolition expert about how those devices were turned into weapons. What are you learning, Brian?
Well, Wolf, coming out here to this range in Pennsylvania, and you can see the aftermath of our tests right here, we learned that it's an incredibly dangerous and complicated process to rig a device this small to blow up, especially if you're rigging it to explode several days later. Just a tiny amount of plastic explosives packed into a pager can have a detonation this big. If this is a person, what happens to the person?
It's going to be catastrophic, what just took place here to the human body.
The impact shown on a mannequin it was clipped to.
Could be fatal over time, bleeding out, things of that nature.
And apparently there were some people who had serious facial and eye injuries. Could this blind you? Forever?
Yeah, absolutely.
A walkie-talkie is a larger device with more room to hold explosives inside and more material to be sent flying, and it's often held close to the face. This one caused even more damage, debris strewn widely, pieces of twisted metal launched as far as 100 yards, and severe injury to the mannequin.
It would be devastating if it were in your hand or close to your head.
These two tests were done at CNN's request in the wake of the explosions this week of pagers and walkie-talkies in Lebanon, said to target Hezbollah members and causing thousands of injuries and dozens of deaths. Based on photos of the debris of devices in Lebanon, these tests used PETN explosive on a pager of the same branding and a walkie-talkie similar in size to the ones targeted in Lebanon. CNN is not showing how the explosives might be placed or how they might be detonated. 3, 2, 1. The tests were conducted by Ryan Morris, a former explosive specialist with the Department of Homeland Security, who runs a firm which trains government and military personnel.
Whoever did it, they were pretty skilled.
Another explosives expert who examined a walkie-talkie similar to the model targeted in Lebanon said making thousands of bombs was a big and risky undertaking.
It will take a lot of time for the explosive to be put in, for it to be connected to the initiating mechanism, to be connected to the detonator. Chances of it exploding while they're doing all this is also there.
And the devices are so small.
I don't find any empty space in this. It's difficult.
How hard is it to, I guess, pack an explosive into something this small?
Someone that has any knowledge of this tradecraft can do it very easily. It's you can secrete explosives in anything.
And triggering thousands of them all at once?
If they have all the numbers for the pagers, they just send a massive text to all of them, all those numbers, and they go off at the same time.
How vulnerable is the traveling public to explosives like that? Ryan Morris says airport technology right now is really good at detecting tiny, trace amounts of explosive material on devices like this, and the material stays on you. I got a tiny trace amount of it on my hands, and Ryan said it would stay with me for a while no matter how many times I wash my hands. Wolf?
All right, Brian Todd, excellent report. Thank you very much.